if getting yourself to the gym is the hardest thing that you deal with in order to kind of find a routine and find motivation to go, you need to read these books, okay? Because these, I believe, will completely shift the way that you can change your behavior in order for you to accomplish the goals that you want. Now, the first one that I'm going to talk about, which I've read over and over and over again, is This Year I Will by MJ Ryan. It is set up essentially as a way for you to really fully commit into a goal or any goal that you want, and it breaks it down into these stages, which I also have a video about. It is in my, I will link it, but it talks about more in depth about the aspects of change and essentially get you through the trans theoretical model of behavior change, which is really important. And I not only find it useful for the clients that I teach and the clients that I interview in order for us to work together, but it also is really helpful for those that are working with people in general and having them work through any aspect, honestly. Any aspect, because it really kind of shows you why a person doesn't want to change and where they are at in their desire to change. So that's such a really good one that you can apply, and you can kind of coach yourself into, okay, well, I know that I'm in this stage of the book. And then she provides, or they provide, a list of questions, reflection questions for you to kind of get you to the next stage, which again is super, super helpful when you're trying to make fitness or make any self development goal like a priority. The next one that I'm going to recommend is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It made me realize that we are all working towards like instant gratification. We all want those results right away, and we all want that six pack, those physical goals right away. But what Jeff Olson describes in his book is thinking about your goals and your desires as a marathon, essentially, and that every single day you are cultivating the skills, you are putting a tally in the type of person that you want to become every single day. And I really, really like that one, because sometimes I think that when you're in the mundane of work or you're in the mundane of your daily life, you forget to take a step back and realize that, well, maybe it doesn't really matter that I'm eating some Chick-fil-A or that I'm eating Popeyes today, because it doesn't really matter 10 years from now. But what he argues is that it does matter. It does matter. Every single meal and every single action is either pulling you towards your goals or kind of pulling you apart from that person that you want to be, which I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's definitely one of those values that I like to follow, and to try to be better or try to be slightly better, which is why it's called a slight edge. It also just talks about kind of that, um, which a lot of the books that or one of the classes that I had in my master's program was called motivational interviewing, and one of the core concepts that both of the course and this book talk about is those values and how those beliefs really play into your daily action. And Jeff Olson also provides a list of ways that you can figure those out yourself, and then see what actions and what things will align that make you essentially better, happier, and more fulfilled. So, such a great read. And it's also like one of those that really has changed the way that I look at fitness, because I really do think that um, fitness is more of, again, like a long term thing versus like getting instant results 4, 5, 6 weeks and then it's all gone. The third one that I am going to recommend to you, if you are starting or want to start a fitness routine, or that every person that's kind of going through like really impossible, like you're like, I can't fit fitness into my life. Well, the next book is in my Kindle. It's in my Kindle, but it's honestly another one that has really changed the way that I look at fitness and the way that I approach fitness and any big barrier that I have for myself. And that is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And I've made a video about him and his book and kind of his approach, that I will also link. And I will also, it's just one of those books that really make you aware of how capable the human body is and how capable the mind works with the human body in order to get there, if that makes sense. Because a lot of the physical traits and physical challenges that David Goggins had to overcome were really getting through those mental barriers and mental blocks. And that's a really good one also if you are, getting through, like, you're like, why am I doing this workout? What's the purpose, right? Like, how I don't want to do it. And then David Goggins kind of comes out and tells you you got to get things done regardless of how you feel and your emotions. And it's really good at explaining those mental barriers in such a way that you're like so motivated, so amped up because you're like, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's kind of the essence of the book. So that's my third recommendation. If you are interested in keeping your fitness, keeping that motivation level up, I really, really often times refer to these books in order for me to get out of a fitness low and get myself back into my tracks or back into alignment with who I want to be. So I hope that these three are valuable. I would love to learn about any other books that you have read that have really inspired you to continue on your fitness journey. And aside from that, I will see you later.